Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily DVAR Halacha. And here's a brand new halacha for you, and it is for Tuesday, the 20th day of October. Here we go. A couple of last laws about Shabbos electricity use based on the teachings of Rav Simcha Bunim Kom in a book called The Shabbos Home. Elevators. You know that some elevators are called a Shabbos elevator. They are programmed to stop on every single floor. Nobody has to touch any buttons. You know, all different rabbis have all different opinions on all these kinds of elevators, depending on how the mechanisms work. Some elevators actually ramp up the electricity based on your weight in there, so you're doing something when you step into the elevator, and some don't. And so I think if you're going to be using a Shabbos elevator, certainly if you're going to use it frequently, you should check, with your rabbi to try to find out like what it's cost. A good rabbi who knows, a rabbi who knows all these kind of elevator details, because the shilas can be very complex and you may have a difficult time finding out. And just because someone in the building says, yeah, it's a Shabbos elevator, everybody uses it, but you may want to check with your rabbi about the specifics of that elevator and how to use it, etc. Otherwise, don't just totally assume that all so-called Shabbos elevators are all okay for sure. If you have an electric blanket that was left on before Shabbos, so you are allowed to use it, make sure that you're not going to have any issue of, that it's too warm and you'll get burned if it's on you. But if it's a very low heat, nobody's in danger or anything, and it was left on before Shabbos, then it's fine. It is a good idea to have the switch taped such that you can't be adjusting the switch during Shabbos. That's the better way to do it. The halacha was for long, long ago when people used to read by the light of an oil lamp that you were not allowed to read by the light of an oil lamp on Shabbos, and that's because the light is not so steady and people would inadvertently, just while they're reading, reach up and touch the wick a little bit to help the oil flow more smoothly, and you're not allowed to do that on Shabbos, so you can't read by an oil lamp. Candles are considered fine because they don't need any adjusting. For that same reason, it's okay to read by an electric light lamp, nowadays, because they need no adjusting either, and we don't expect that you're going to do anything to the switch. Even if, let's say, there's a dimmer on it, and you'd say, oh, well, there's a dimmer, so while he's reading, he might inadvertently raise the dimmer. We're not so worried about that because the light of a lamp like that is kind of steady and it doesn't flicker, and you have it set to something, and probably that's going to be the setting it's going to stay on, and it's not a problem. If you think it's silly that we're discussing the laws here about oil lamps on Shabbos, remember that, and this happened to us just a couple of weeks ago, power failure on a Friday night or on a Yom Tov night. And there was for a short while on that Friday night, we were eating by candlelight, and if we had wanted to eat by those oil, and they were oil lamps, and if we had wanted to eat by them, we would have had a small issue. So please remember that for if the power ever goes out, that you're not supposed to read by an oil lamp on Shabbos. There are two conditions that would make it permissible to read by an oil lamp on Shabbos. Number one, if you have a shomer, someone near you who's watching, and you say, if you see me reaching for the light, smack my hand, or anything less than that. But if he's going to do that and make sure that you don't adjust the oil lamp, then that's going to make it okay. Also, if two people are reading together by that same oil lamp, we expect that one will block the other from doing any problems, and that too would make it permissible for you to read by the light of the oil lamp on Shabbos. Thanks for logging on, and log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.